Today?
Yes.
No, right?
Oh my God, Lakshmi,
Oh.
you're looking so pretty. What is it? I mean, suddenly I realized I'm
No,
looking
not
for
in
Lakshmi.
office, in home only. So yeah,
Very good. Yeah, that's why looking so vibrant. And so these are our two students, moderators, who will be co-hosting with me. So that's Lakshmi ma'am, and that's Priyanshi, class 10 student, DPS 45. Am I right?
Maruti Kunj.
Maruti Kunj. And that's Koina from another very good school, Gems International.
So hi.
Hi.
Great. I hope you are moderating and you guys have, put it across that please join. You guys are going to get a lot of spotlight in this show. Lakshmi, I am really, I didn't get that chance to even look at, oh God, people are there. Malvika, can I speak or there are people now?
No, I think, no, nobody is there. They're not.
I think
they're waiting.
They're not admitted.
Yeah,
it's just we. So I just didn't get a chance, and that's why I sent you a text that this time I'm nervous.
I'm also, because it's a very wide topic. It's like,
I know.
yeah.
And also, some tools, like there are certain tools, Lakshmi, which people, teachers would like to know about. What tools can be used? So, and innovate, making the teaching learning process more innovative. So that will be the kind of, expectations, and they'll be asking you those questions. So yes, I think we are all ready. And Lakshmi, you never invite me. You should invite me there. I would love to come.
Yes,
To your
seriously.
campus.
It's like, I think there is no
Ma'am,
need.
sorry. Sorry, please continue.
No,
No,
it's like
you
you're always
are.
welcome to continue, come to campus, ma'am. It's a very good place to visit.
Yes, Koina. Thank you, Lakshmi. Koina, you had to say something.
Yes, sorry. Our principal will be joining as well from GEMS.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So what's his name?
Her name, I think, is Seema ma'am. I haven't had a lot of interaction with her, but I've been working as a prefect.
Okay, Miss Seema. Full name?
Full name, ma'am. Just give me 1 second.
Her name is
I'll
Seema Prabhakar. Seema Prabhakar,
Yes.
ma'am.
Seema Prabhakar, ma'am.
Okay. So I will be you will on my WhatsApp chat, you will be giving me a heads up that she's there so that I can, good. I think that's amazing. And that's what I said, you should, because this is such a great opportunity to co-moderate on this platform with so many esteemed academicians. And, I would like you also, if she will be joining, so you feel free to ask Seema ma'am also. Take her in the conversation. It will be very nice since she's there. And you can always ask one question, that since I'm honored that our principal, Ms. Seema Prabhakaran, is here. We would like ma'am to also because she'll feel important. That's good, because so you should ask one question. And great. I think yes, Malvika, it's 4. If you're giving, yeah, tell me, Malvika.
Ma'am, actually you're on mute.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome to Futuristic Education. You see, there is a widespread notion and discussion in the educational corridors that education should empower learners of today with skills and competencies to cope with a constantly changing landscape. No more content remains important. What is important is to understand the skills to how to learn what to learn. Now, reference is often made to skills like critical thinking, problem solving, collaborative skills, and skills on digital literacy, skills how to adapt. And we've been having a lot of discussions ever since we started with these web series on futuristic education. With the advent of digital era, as it has ushered in significant changes in numerous sectors, and one of the biggest sector which has had and seen its impact has been education, where education shifted and saw a paradigm shift from probably education 1.0 based on rote learning to student-centric, to online, talking about hybrid learning. Now we are actually talking about learning in metaverse. But what remains constant is the educator's role and educator's intervention in the teaching learning process. And how he could do it is with curating innovative pedagogies. Now, the fusion of the amalgamation of innovative pedagogies with digital technology, which is capturing contemporary education system and helping it transform, is extremely important. So technology, as we all know, has become an enabler in general lifestyle, but in particular with the education, delivering of education content or making learners understand. The idea revolves around technology to facilitate effective instructional practices, enrich student learning experiences, and promote engagement, creativity, critical thinking. So today's topic of discussion, dear viewers, is extremely pertinent topic because during my course of research, when we decide on the topics, we saw that there is a one whole department which is educational technology and information and communication technology. And this is a wing of NCRT, which focuses completely on enhancing the technology in pedagogy. And today's topic of discussion in this 41st episode, oh my God, we've nearly completed half century, is innovative pedagogy and digital technologies. I'm delighted, as I'm always, to introduce those who are first-timers attending our futuristic education web series to this webisode of our series, which is a collaborative initiative between Edudevs, Upskilling Education, and Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham University, where we felt that we need to constantly keep having dialogues, discussions, deliberation, calling each and every stakeholder in the system on this platform, whether they are the policymakers or they are part of the CBSE or there are the curators of the curriculums and the textbooks from NCERT, the principals, the parents, the teachers, and of course, the most critical, the pivot, that is the students. So we started with these web series, and these were city-based. Gradually, the caravan kept on expanding, and we started operating pan India. And I'm excited that today it's a great amalgamation between now the cities are Awarpur from Maharashtra, and we have the students from Gurgaon. So it's a very, very two city based discussions and not just one city. And I am Devyani Kapoor, your host and moderator for today. I'm excited to tell you that I will be moderating only one part of this webinar, and the second part would be taken on by our students from GPS Maruti Kunj Gurgaon and GEMS International School Gurgaon. Without much delay, let me quickly introduce you to our today's panel. We have with us Principal Mr. Sanjeev Soni from Aditya Birla Public School, Awarpur. Welcome, sir. He is an esteemed and a seasoned academician and has had been a principal to, I think, many DPSs. And today he's here to, deliberate on today's topic. We welcome you, sir. We have with us Dr. Lakshmi Madhavan, and she heads the Career Counseling Department of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham University, a seasoned academician, and she has been an inspiration to so many youths because she is mostly, working towards dealing various youth I wouldn't say issues, but the areas which from career to stress management to how to prepare an exam, she has a great expertise and has a great experience behind her. Welcome, Ms. Lakshmi, to this. I see Mr. Sanjeev Soni joining now.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello, welcome, sir. Welcome. Good to.
I'm there only.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, sir. We also have with us, and we are very excited because we felt that it is a talk about all our discussions lead to the learning outcomes, the holistic development of the students. After all this is being done for the development of the students. And we then started bringing them on this platform. Why should we leave them behind? And today I'm exhilarated to announce with me the names of my co-hosts. And we have Ms. Priyanshi Huda from Delhi Public School, Gurgaon, Maruti Kunj. Welcome, Priyanshi. She's a class 10 student. We have with us Koina Masi from GEMS International School, Gurugram, and the class is not mentioned, but Koina, you're from class 10?
Class 11th.
And 11th, as I did not want to speak your class wrong. Welcome, Koina, and I'm really looking forward to these two young co-hosts with me. Welcome to you. Let me tell you the format of the webinar. We start with an ice-breaking question, which is addressed to all the panelists. And then we address, and the time we would suggest is keep it as short as 2 minutes, because there is so much coming in where we can, talk about. And then we have one specific question round where we address specific questions to each panelist as per their expertise in that area. So my first ice-breaking question is to Mr. Sanjeev Soni. And the question is that, so we are talking about, innovative pedagogies and digital technologies and digitization of, education. Uh, Number one, I would like you to let us know that how has been its efficacy in terms of adaptability. Along with it, what are some of the challenges which could be faced by the system, by the educators, by the students? Then we would move on to the more specific. Yes, sir.
Good evening, ma'am, and good evening, Devyani ma'am, and good evening to one and all. And really, it's a pleasure to be a part of Edudevs and then the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. And I'm really thankful to the organizer for having me a part of this particular webisode, wherein I'm able to learn as well as reflect upon like how innovative pedagogies and digital technology can play a role in enhancing the capacity of the children there in the classroom and in this global world. See, it's really challenging, ma'am. Let me tell you. The reason being is that the technology itself is upgrading itself time to time. We are in this world. What we are seeing is that there are number of resources which are coming to all of us. Now, the thing is that if the teachers, if the education management, if the system is not incorporating these challenges, and teachers as well as students are not incorporating these challenges in their lives, not making themselves accustomed how to utilize these technologies and how this cutting edge technology can be utilized to leverage the learning of the students. So it is going to be very difficult. So challenges are many, but the mantra and the watchword would be going slowly, utilizing the technology as per the need and the context, having a human touch as well as the technology. So the blending of these two can bring about a significant change in the domain of education as well as making learning more positive for the children, and it can help out in enhancing the teaching learning experiences, making it more realistic. So challenges are many, but then we need to somehow maneuver with a multiple number of ways through this.
I think very well, put by Mr. Soni that number one, the system has to be ready to adopt and adapt. The teacher, when I say system, it's the school, the management, the educators, because there are times when managements say, okay, and we work with so many schools which are part of our, Edudevs Foundation, where we upgrade and upskill and try to bridge the gap, where we see that managements have invested in the technology, but the readiness to adapt this technology and integrate it into the classrooms. And that is how probably, you can talk about innovative pedagogies. That sometimes is a challenge. And Sir also said that, blending the two, that is the human element, that is the teacher factor, and the technology, that is going to be the mantra. If we are in any case thinking of, in terms of creating hybrid learning scenarios, and we have to, because I'm sure that we are soon going to be with, education in metaverse, unless we are prepared to handle ourselves in education 4.0, how will we step into education 4.0? Thank you so much for your crisp and to the point input, sir. Thank you. I'll come back to you soon. Lakshmi ma'am, I would like to hear your views on this, that, how what is the efficacy and what are some of the challenges which we see around? Lakshmi
So
ma'am?
I think I'm audible now. Yeah.
Yes.
So good evening, a very happy evening to everybody. And thanks to Devyani ma'am for having me in this platform. So I really enjoy being part of this discussion. So coming to the area, we all know what technology has done. It has rooted its way to our day-to-day existence, I would say, in our life. And education is no more the one that we have seen earlier. Everything has changed. The role of teachers is there. It's more challenging. A lot of challenges, as sir have already discussed about something called blended learning. We need to have a combination of the traditional as well as the technology about the modern technologies that are coming up. So whatever we have to have a strong connection with what is in our hand, and we have to improve it. I would call it as something called a trial and error thing. So there are different needs. We have different needs. It might be something related to science, something related to English, something related to, there are different areas, and there are different applications or different softwares which can help us in each of these areas. So it's a teacher who need to do this trial and error and identify, which one I need or which one I need to take so that my students will be advanced in that particular area. So yes, it's a long process. We'll have to learn, we'll have to try with different things, and we can improve. Along with that, we'll be able to help our students also to be the challenges of this world.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I think Lakshmi is giving the perspective of by and large, because I'm very tempted to ask you this question that, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is an ace, A-level university when it comes to STEM education. So I think technology is very hands-on, and we also, to our audience, I would also like to tell you that we are running a masterclass every week on STEM education, STEM at NEP. It is a certified master class. You get certificates, and we are soon converting it into a whole module. So this now going forward, you'll not just have one masterclass, you'll have a whole lot. So Lakshmi, because I'm talking about challenges. When Mr. Soni said, I understood because I know how schools function. But when it comes from your mouth, do you think that kind of challenges are also there in universities?
Obviously, it will be there
is
in
that
sector.
unwillingness, of the educators, the professors and the lecturers or the new teachers to adapt to technology, and they feel very comfortable when it comes to chalk and talk.
No,
So,
it's not about it's not about the unwillingness from the faculty side or from the mentor side. It's about it will take some time. They need to understand it. It's like we have NLP algorithms and all natural language processing algorithms we use. We use different AI-based evaluation tools. So a lot of these things are happening with us. Maybe it'll take some time. So we need to give our teachers, even if they are really advanced, they are having PhDs and all in all the new technologies that are coming up. Every individual, maybe I also need some time to understand what is this. First, I need to understand, then only I'll be able to implement it. So that gap will be there always, even if it's school, even if it's a higher education, in every sector, that gap will always
be there.
Maybe it's little less from our side, as it's a higher ed and as everybody is into the STEM, everybody everything, it's a little less, but still it takes time.
It takes time. Yeah, I understand. Absolutely. So what I understand is that you're saying that when something is new, it takes time for people to adapt to it. And probably you being in that STEM, you standing out as a STEM, university, naturally the challenges are little less, but they are there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lakshmi. My next question is to Mr. Sanjeev Soni. Sir, tell me that how can, because you just spoke about the challenges and the readiness and the preparedness. Let me also say the preparedness. When I say readiness, I mean less the willingness, but more of the preparedness. So how can we, because there is technology, balance digital learning and traditional learning methodology? Because the problem is that the moment there is over reliance on technology, children are very smart enough to say that the whole day we've got a homework, so they sit the entire day on their devices. The parent starts complaining. So as schools, it's a very critical balance to create between the learning process where the digital learning intervention is there and the traditional methodology is not lost. So I really want to know that what happens in your school and how do you face and how are you, taking further steps on this particular thing? Ji sir. Sanjeet sir?
No, sorry. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that we need to upgrade, right? See,
Yeah.
so anyway, like your question is like, when I started speaking, I touched upon one thing very important is that the human touch. See, the role of teachers from the classroom cannot be at all neglected, cannot be at all eradicated. It will always remain. Technology can always be used to facilitate certain things that may happen in the classroom situation. And we need to understand that intervention of technology needs to expedite the process of learning. So we have to adopt technology in a sense that how it is going to somehow improvise the pace and the speed of learning, rather than only for the sake of removing human element from the classroom and taking technology into the classroom is not going to solve our problem. So what I mean to say is that there are a number of technological interventions, but the thing is that from that we have to identify, as Lakshmi madam already did say, that number of subjects are there, number of aspects are there, but then one of the technology is not going to work for the other person. So somehow we have to identify our own area and look into it, that which kind of technology is going to supplement my particular subject and my learning that can expedite with the help of that technological intervention. So the big challenge is that adopting technology as per our need and requirement.
Right. So there is a very rightly said, and we have this comment in the chat by Mr. Arun Varhad Pandey. I hope I'm, pronouncing the name correctly. And he said something very right. And because this is going to, only you can explain the answer, this particular doubt. And he's right. Somebody says that it appears that the focus on adopting to technology, because there is so much of which somewhere will overtake the focus on the lesson to be learned. Because teacher जो है वो अभी hands on उतना नहीं है, और demand जो है, the expectations, the way the curriculum and the expectations by CBSE, and sometimes there are so many sessions which the teachers, so that over user. So how would you answer Arun's question, that how can we create a fine balance between what he's saying? And he's put it in the open chat box, you can read it.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am, I would like to say one thing. See, as I said that, technological intervention should not be only for the sake of technology. That is the first thing. Second thing, which is very important, is that, see, the area where the technology is utilized, it is to ease out the work. Suppose we are doing some assessments. So how our approach can be data driven? See, when we talk about human, so always there is some certain limitations. So there the technological intervention can help out, that how we can analyze the data, put it in the pie chart or maybe the graphical method, so that it is accessible and it can be utilized in a positive manner by the person who is utilizing the technology. So the most important thing is that, like we talk about virtual reality, we talk about the augmented reality. See, what is it all about? It is all about like giving a perspective to the child. Okay. So having a three-dimensional knowledge of the entire thing. So what I mean to say is that there will always remain the human touch. Teachers will always remain there. Technology will facilitate learning happening in the classroom situations. That's what my take is all about for that particular question, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I think,
yeah,
yeah.
please, Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
yes,
I think
please
I'll
go
also
ahead.
add up. So from my experience, this is something from the school parent perspective and also from a teacher perspective. So what I have observed is like, schools are coming up with new things. They are having an adult tinkering lab. So it's like now most of the schools are having. But what I felt is there is still, even if this many developments are there, this many technologies are, there is still a gap, a communication gap between the schools and the parents. It's a combined effort of parents and schools, but still there is a communication gap. So I was surprised. Maybe last week I received a brochure from a school. So I have been connected with different schools doing sessions and all. So they have been inviting the parents. Yeah, it's like we are going to open this lab in our school. Come explore. The whole day the parents are there. They can understand what's happening. And there are schools who send guides to the parents that this year we'll be introducing this many technologies and we'll be using this many softwares. So it's before the classes are starting. The school is informing, yeah, this is going to happen. We'll give you the guide, start doing it. And even there are, I would say, certain sources where if the parent is stuck in something, the school or the technical guy is providing them support. So this is something which can solve this issue to some extent, because now education has changed and it's a collaborative effort of parent as well as the teacher. Teachers can't do anything alone. And those parents were complaining, my kid is sitting on the laptop, they are doing this. I don't know whether they are studying. If they understand what is it, why they're using the application, what is happening in the background, yeah, they won't complain. So this is something that can be done. And another point is, it's like,
yes,
I would
please
never
go ahead.
say, yeah, I don't know whether I'm taking much time. So it's like,
No,
the focus on technology, I would say will not, it's like, will not be able to, it's like shift our focus from what we have to teach. That is something, because I have been in the computer science sector, I have been using, initially it will be difficult for a faculty, that I also agree. But it will take some time, and I don't know how many of you have an idea about the simulation platforms, because I'm somebody who is interested in maths and physics. So during the COVID time, there are
Lakshmi, we'll come to you. We'll come to you for checking. That is right. Because
completely fine.
But before going, because there is a question and we want you to properly answer and tell them about all these platforms. So before going on to the next question, sir, Mr. Soni, you were talking about, data-driven analysis. And you said that, and which is very important. So, which I know it, but I want to hear it from your mouth and want it to be like a message to our educators, that how can they use now data and help, technology interpret that data for the, better analysis. So how can data be used by a teacher to, do her analysis, and on what? Yes, Mr. Soni.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. See, what's happening nowadays is that every school is incorporating ERPs, enterprise resource planning. There are different types of softwares that coming into the market. Okay. So
Yes.
what is happening that the moment we are putting in some data, like I would like to give an example is that suppose we are organizing, right? These are the first periodic tests are on the way. Like when we talk about July, it's the first periodic tests are there. So the moment what we are doing, we are putting in the data, the marks which are being secured by the children. Okay. So we are going to get a realistic evaluation of, because we have asked from our children that what would be your benchmarking. Okay, like out of the 40 marks examination, what would be your goal, a specific goal. So all the children, they have already given us some marks, like I'll be securing 32 marks, I'll be securing 35 marks. Now, once the teachers do evaluate all such things and they put in the marks, now the difference is coming. So difference is coming. So 5-7% doesn't matter. But when it comes to like the gap is so huge, then there needs intervention. Now there comes the time where teacher. So this is only possible with the help of data, because see what happens is that any analysis that has to be done, it has to be done in real time. Then it is going to make a sense. If it is going to be delayed, then what is going to happen? That doesn't make a sense. So evaluation in time and then putting those marks in the software in time, so that we can understand that what was the goal setting and where the child now lies. So if the difference is more, we'll be definitely able to go for certain interventions with the help of parents, with the help of the concerned subject teachers. So data driven. So when we talk about that data analysis, it is going to play a very, very vital role in present time. So so what is going to happen? We are going to help out children in an appropriate manner. See, beta, what was the problem and how you need to find out a solution. And the same thing is going to come in the next phase, when it is the half yearly examination round the way. So again, we are going to ask them the goal setting, and then so there is, in that way, we'll be able to identify that either the child is not setting goal properly, or the child is not performing up to a benchmarking, up to a set standard. So there requires intervention. And when we talk about one complete academic year, so that comprises of, I mean to say, like 4 examinations, if you talk about a school system. So PT1, PT2s, half yearly, and assessments and the annual examination. So based on these 4 examinations, if we have proper data and collation of data, so we have a realistic analysis that of how the child did perform for one complete year. So this is what I feel is the role of data as far as the learning enhancement of children is concerned in the school system.
Absolutely. I think that is the biggest, because, the educator, this was exactly, I was holding back and I wanted you to answer this question. And because the learning process, now we need to, though, for the convenience of curriculum delivery, for the convenience of the curriculum progression, of course, we bifurcate the learning and student through by age groups as the classes. But then we also need, now that we have technology, we have this data, we have the benefit taking, we can always map out a student's trajectory and his growth over the years. So instead of the teacher in our times, the class 8 teacher will not know how was the child performing in class 5 or class, so the human intervention remains limited. So what happens is that record the student performance in the data, do an analysis, and that is how you hand over. That's what the expectation is. It's not just about the mark report card that you hand over to the parent and then the student keeps it, and some people like me would have had a bundle of all the 12 years report card. No, it's about what has been the progression, where I was, and now in class 8, if the communication was faulty, did the school or did the teachers work on the communication that the student was able to reach out to that expected level or maybe near that? If the cognition was a problem, if any other skill. So this is what I think, I don't know, correct me, sir, if I'm wrong. That is what the role of data would be. So, sir, before I hand over this to my students to moderate, and it's wonderful to them being asking us the question, I just have one more question, sir. Now, we are talking about innovative pedagogies and digital transformation or digital, integration in classrooms. Problem is that student is smarter than the parent and the teacher. Now, the teacher gives the homework. The parent says that he is always sitting on the technology. The student says, listen, I know more. ये बिना टेक्नोलॉजी के नहीं हो सकता, and he comes out with a better solution. अभी सर आप बिल्कुल आराम से इस प्रॉब्लम का थोड़ा सा सॉल्यूशन बताएं, क्योंकि पेरेंट क्रिप करते हैं, टीचर को वो होमवर्क देती है कि ये सारा दिन देखो फोन लेके बैठा रहता है. अगर ज्यादा हैंड राइटिंग पेंसिल एंड नोटबुक वाला होमवर्क देती हैं तो कहते हैं तो वही होमवर्क दे रहे हो जो हमारे टाइम में मिल रहा था. तो आप बताइए सर, आप कैसे से डील करते हो? जो हमारे इतने व्यूअर्स हैं उनको समझाइए प्लीज. दिस इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एंड देन आई विल टेक अ बैक सीट.
The important thing and what is going to be thoughtful for all of us is that we need to understand, as I said that earlier also, that there needs to be some watchword for all of us. Now see, those days are gone when everything is being done with the help of books and copies, right? And children are obviously children are more smarter than the teachers. That is also true. Educationists are also continuously improvising themselves. They have a number of seminars, webinars. CBSE is playing a very vital role where it is providing them with resources, guidelines. A number of resources are there. So one thing which is very important is that need analyses, that what kind of need is there. Like you said, ma'am, that based on data, we definitely are able to find out what is the need. So based on need, we need to go for giving homeworks, okay? And the important thing is going to be the collaboration. So collaboration in terms of, I'll say that peer-to-peer, it can be from teachers to students. So until unless they collaborate, and until unless they understand that what is their need, they'll not be able to effectively utilize the data. So parents also need to understand there needs to be some sort of sensitization, some sort of maybe parents can be, as told by Lakshmi Madam also, that parents can in the beginning itself we can create about awareness in the parents that what is the need of this kind of activity which is being given to them. So the important thing which is going to be is the need, and based on need, giving some homeworks, giving some projects, giving some research, okay? And there are number of areas, number of things which can be given. And one thing which is very important is that this all should scaffold the learning of the child, okay?
Yes.
So that is going to be important for all of us, that somehow whatever we are doing, it's must support learning and teaching learning environment happening through thoroughly. And learning objectives need to be clear based on these interventions. So this is going to be important for all of us.
Great, thank you so much, sir. I've just got to know that we have amongst us another esteemed principal, Ms. Seema Prabhakaran from GEMS International School. I would like to welcome her here, and can Team Edudevs make her the co-host? And hello, good evening, Ms. Seema. Good evening, Ms. Seema Prabhakaran. Okay, I don't think
she's
so.
having some issues.
Okay, she must be having some issues anyways. But really wonderful that she has come to watch your performance. Now, without much ado, let me hand over the stage to our student moderators. And this is a part of a short internship that they undergo with Edudevs Upskill Education, where Edudevs brings them, prepares them, empowers them, and that also is our contribution to contributing towards the 21st century skills. May I invite Priyanshi and Koina to now take over the conversation further.
Hello, ma'am. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And I would love to thank Devyani, ma'am, and Edudevs for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this webinar. And as ma'am already mentioned, we did this internship through EduIntern, which gave us a lot of exposure and experience to go out in the world and talk about ourselves and learn more just in general. So today I've been given the opportunity to ask a few questions that have been on my mind for quite some time. And when I was approached regarding this webinar, I was extremely delighted because I could not wait for my questions to be answered. So my question is to Principal Sir. Uh, as students, what can we do to best adapt to a learning environment where digital technology is integrated with the innovative pedagogies? Sir?
Whom
Uh,
is this?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, thank you, Priyanshi. See, as I told you, as we were discussing all about, like, I believe that you are asking me one thing is that how you can adapt yourself to present situation or digital intervention. Okay, is that the question?
Priyanshi,
Yes,
can you reread the question? Yeah, sir is
sir.
asking what is it that you're asking? Yeah.
As students, what can we do to best adapt to a learning environment where digital technology is integrated with innovative pedagogy?
Fine. See, adaptability will not at all come from yourself. It will require your ecosystem. Okay, I mean to say, wherever you are learning, they must have gone for the analysis that why this particular intervention of technology needs to be there in the classroom or in the school or in the system. Okay, so when it comes to adaptability, it is just like learning happens is from simple to complex. All of a sudden, we cannot expose you to something which is complex in the nature. So what is to be done by the system is that slowly and gradually, based on the need of the children, how this particular intervention of technology is going to help our children in learning environment. So once the goals are clear, once the objectives are clear, then only this technology can be integrated with a given subject. Okay, and then when it is integrated, you have to slowly and gradually accept, and then you have to learn it in a step manner that what exactly it is. So how are you going to learn? One is itself your facilitators there in the classroom, and now we live in a global world. So there are a number of videos, there are a number of, like, you can Google, you can collaborate with your peers, you can ask, there are a number of blogs based on it. Okay, so from that we can learn slowly and gradually. And if there are questions, you need to ask questions to your resource persons, maybe your teachers, that what exactly it is and where are you facing the problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, I'd like to ask a question as well. Thank you, Priyanshi. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude towards Edudev and their Edu intern program. This and Devyani ma'am for joining this webinar. It's been an amazing experience. I'd like to start with the question for Sir as well. How can digital technology aid in self-paced learning and promote our independence as learners?
Okay. So now your question, I suppose, is that how you can expedite your learning based on the intervention of technology. Okay, that is what I believe your question is. So
Yes,
as I
sir.
told
And
you that, yeah. So I believe, yeah. So what I believe is that, see, in this world, we have access of resources. So resources are there, abundance of resources. You have to find out that which particular resource is going to scaffold your personal learning. Okay. Then you need to understand one thing, that how this particular technology is going to provide you the kind of flexibility and convenience in your learning style. Because it is like when I say that flexibility and convenience, I mean to say that it is not time based. Like you can do the collaboration outside, and you can utilize the classroom time in enhancing further your learning. So some of the collaboration can be done outside itself. When you are in home, you can study. So there is flexibility, there is convenience. You can also go for your personalized learning approach. How personalized? That based on your needs, you can find out that which resources are important for you, and then utilize those resources to learn. As I said, that there are number of blogs, there are number of resources. Okay. Ebooks are there, so many resources are there. If you find out, you have augmented reality, you have artificial intelligence, so many things and their interventions are there. So you have to find out like how and which particular technology and which particular app is going to help you out in which manner. Okay. So in that way, I believe that things can be easier for all of us, and we'll be able to utilize the technology in an effective manner.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. My question is to Lakshmi ma'am now. Ma'am, what do you think, according to you, what digital resources or tool would you recommend for students to supplement our learning beyond the classroom?
Uh, yes, so thank you for the question. And the first thing I would answer is something similar to that sir have answered. So what's your need? Based on that only, you have to choose the tool. So every individual's, it's like, what's the advantage of this technology or the platforms is that your learning strategy is different. Your pace is different. You may be able to cover something up in a particular time. Maybe the other person may be efficient. They may cover it in just very less time compared to you. So these platforms can help whenever you want to revisit it. This platform can help whenever you want to reanalyze it. So it gives you your own time. So that is something which is very, very important when we look into this system or look into these platforms. Now, coming to some tools which you can make use of is something like, first thing I would say is the digital simulations or different models. I don't know whether you have used this. There are different platforms during the COVID time and all. I have seen a lot of schools, they were performing the labs in the simulation mode. So you have the software, you log in into it, you have your the requirements of the chemistry lab there. It's just an experience. Also, it can improve your learning. So that is something which you can focus on about different simulation models. When it comes to building circuits, you have the resistors, you have the capacitors, you have the gates. So you can just connect it, you can understand what's happening, how to do it. So that models can be used to help you. And the second one, as sir told, is something which I also wish to say as the personalized learning. So you can use AI, because AI will be easily able to understand what's your pattern of study, what is your preference. how much time you will be able to adapt to it. So it can give you a personalized learning experience and also proper assessment and feedback. So you can use any AI personalized learning tools. And maybe moving forward, I would give you names of some tools also. It's being now our teachers have changed the system, the education, the teaching methodology to something like games, role play, activities, and all. So for each subject, there are separate apps or websites. So for science and math students, I would say, I don't know how many of you heard this, Fect is there. Then for photography, those students who have an interest into it, it's maybe something beyond your science subjects. For photography, there is something, some applications which are provided by Canon. Then those students who are into the bio part, there are different medical simulation technologies. So all these technologies can be used by you so that you can learn at your own pace. And I would say you can learn in, it's like taking your own time, taking your own pace, and also you can make it as a fun. And there are different games. Gaming is something which is very, very important. Learning by gaming or gaming technologies. I would give you some examples. There are games which teach you periodic table. It's very difficult for us to remember the elements of the periodic table, right? Those who are really into chemistry also, they are feeling it difficult. So we have games which help you to remember those things. So those type of games can be used. Another one is those students who are really into astronomy or somebody who is really into, I would say, rocket science. They want to know more about it. There are different platforms. Those who are interested into arts, there is art platform. It's something like to the history of arts, to the introduction of arts. It's a game which gives you an idea. And another thing is something called Kerbal Space Program. I don't know how many of you have Googled it. It's just an app that you can install. You can just play it. It will teach you the basics of the space. So there are different platforms. What we as students or we as educators lack is we need to understand each and every one, which is for which one. And we have to map it, and based on our needs, we have to use it. There are different, I would say, for mathematics, there are lots and lots of platforms. Those students are, it's like little bit back in mathematics or feel like, yeah, I'm not able to do these things. There is a Mathia platform. It provides you personalized learning. There are a lot of learning activities. And another example is something called learning by doing. Certain kits, which you can get online, you can buy it, you can assemble, you can understand. So initial step is, what's my need? What is my area? This is something which is really going to help you in your career also. Because you might be in your 11th or 12th, you might be thinking whether I want to take up this course or that course. And you're really interested into one area, but you're not able to collect much information about it. So you can make use of these tools. So I hope I was able to answer some of your query. So yes. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The answer really was very helpful, and I'll keep this in mind.
And
Just a
Get
Priyanshi,
moment.
what you need. Yeah, I have made my notes, and I'll keep everything in mind. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
yeah, Priyanshi,
Yeah.
see, ma'am already has explained it in a very elaborate manner. But if you give me time, I'd also like to add a few more things into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why not, sir?
See, as I told you, like, the most important thing is that to identify your need. Okay. Like if you talk about the online learning platforms, we all have heard about the Khan Academy. Okay.
Yes.
We all have heard about Coursera. We all have heard about. So, see, if you talk about online learning platforms, so based on your own pace, these are some of the platforms. There can be a number of more other platforms also, but I'm just naming a few. Okay. Similarly, when we talk about the educational websites, okay, so we have websites of NCRTs, and then we have somewhere CBSE's resource also, okay. Now TED Ed is a buzzword, okay. So National Geographic channels are there, in which there are a number of things coming, okay. Similarly, like there are other resources. Then we have a plethora of ebooks in the digital library, okay. We have the National Library where you can have access to free books also, So there, see, the important thing is that, as ma'am said very appropriately, is that you have to identify that what is my need. Okay. Like suppose I'm trying to make some notes. So there are number of plethora of apps to write down your own notes. Okay. Based on it can be online, Microsoft OneNote is there, then Google Keep is there, and then tools like Evernote is there. So what I'm taking is that these examples are so many, but the thing is that teachers again have to play a very significant role in identifying that which particular thing is going to help you out and expedite your own learning in the classroom situation, or maybe after the classroom situation also. So most important thing is that teachers need to constantly upgrade themselves and help out the students in identifying that this particular thing can help you out. Okay, and this is what we are calling about as a personalized intervention. For everybody, for every child, the needs would be different. Okay, so that personalized intervention is required, and for that you don't have much time. You have your own time also, that you also need to remember, that you cannot spend a lot of time in finding out these resources, otherwise you will be far from your curriculum also. So that also has to be a very important role, you know. So teachers have to tell you that which particular tool can help you out, and for that educators also need to constantly upgrade themselves in time also. Thank you, Priyansi.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And now that was all our questions. Koina, if you have anything else to add.
I would like to express my gratitude towards Sir and Ma'am, and of course, Devyani Ma'am. I wanted to express my heartfelt appreciation for your insightful comments on innovative pedagogies. Your perspective and your understanding on this topic has actually, I'm sure everybody has had a potential impact, and it's resonated with me personally as well. It's refreshing to find someone who shares the same passion for transforming education. Your contributions have added immense value to the conversation, and I'm grateful for the knowledge and the inspiration that you have provided. Thank you for that. Back to you, Priyanshi.
Thank you. And again, I'd like to thank Devyani ma'am for providing everyone with such an amazing platform. Not just this, when I was interning with Devyani ma'am and Edudevs back in June, we started this podcast called Baatcheet Cafe, which is kind of similar to Futuristic Education. We call upon guests and we would talk about the problems the youth is facing and everything that a person has doubts in their mind, being their sexuality, their education concerns, or anything just in general. Pachi Cafe was just another platform for people to come at and talk to. So I feel that just Devyani ma'am and Edudevs providing us with such platforms is just, we are very grateful, and thank you so much, and thank you to sir and ma'am for answering all our questions.
Thank you so much, Priyanshi, and thank you so much, Koina. You did a commendable work. I think you were moderating better than me. Your questions were extremely pertinent. Your confidence, your communication skills, you're able to moderate and balance out the time. And I'm very happy. I was not expecting, but bang on, you were told that 5 we need to drop the guillotine. Thank you so much, both of you. And dear viewers and audience, yes, we have a podcast known as Baatcheet Cafe. It's a youthful podcast of love, life, laughter, crushing life's hurdles. And it's youth issues that we take up, issues that the youth are unable to address in normal circumstances. And we are hoping to, please log in to Baatcheet Cafe on our Instagram page. And we extend our invite to the students of various schools to come and exhibit their skills in the Baatcheet Cafe. If you're a good content writer, if you can manage a team, if you can have digital and graphic designing, video editing capabilities, or just you're a good moderator, please join in the movement. And my special thanks to our esteemed guest, Mr. Sanjeev Soni. Sir, namaskar. It was wonderful interacting with you and really wonderful hearing your knowledge and insights on the issues. And I'm sure our viewers would have had a great takeaway about the practical problems that the schools are facing and how the teachers need to, adapt to deal with the 21st century scenario education system per se. Lakshmi ma'am, thank you so much for helping us understand what are some of the technologies and some of the classroom techniques. And as sir said, that every subject has some particular tools which the teachers can use and they are using. And I was researching when sir and ma'am was speaking, and I just came across that mind mapping, Mentimeter, Flipgrid, forms and quizzes, simulation, as Lakshmi ma'am mentioned, VRAR, LMS. All these are certain tools about which we will keep you updating on our various, shows or master classes. And in the end, I would just like a request, Principal Sir, Mr. Sanjeev Soni and Lakshmi ma'am, to please give one last resting statement on this show to our viewers. Over to you, Principal Sir.
Ma'am, I would like to say that earning the confidence of the parents would be the most important thing and the watchword. Earning the confidence of the management, that how are we going to intervene technology and what technology can play, what significant role the technology can play in reviving the education scenario. That is going to bring about a lot of change in the education sector. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. And over to you, Lakshmi ma'am.
So this is something to every one of us. We don't need to be afraid. We just need to sail on, and it will take some time. We'll get there. So students, you just need to be, to our students, we just need to tell this. It's something like we need to start using it. We'll somehow navigate through it. We'll manage it and we'll reach our goal. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and thank you everyone.
Please don't go away before watching our AV, which talks about a plethora of programs and engagements with which you can be associated and keep upgrading your knowledge. After all, learning is a lifelong process. Thank you so much, and stay tuned to our future episodes on futuristic education. Team Edudevs, can we have the AV please? Once again, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Sanjeev Soni, and we shall be connected in future. And
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lakshmi ma'am. And gratitude and thank you to our student moderators. Thank you so much. And our audience who make us who we are today. Thank you. Keep watching us.